I want to reiterate something that I've said, and I'll keep saying it. One, it's not about being right, it's about getting it right.
In general, it's always our philosophy to draft the best available player, but this year is going to present maybe a little bit of a unique twist in that regard.
We have to get it right, and the way you get it right is by people being open to debate, pushing each other, challenging each other.
Do you think there's a chance he's just a fourth-line center?
Yeah, I don't see that at all.
And why?
If our upside projection with the D is we do see potential top four, then for me that would sway us.
He's actually better.
Yeah, but how can you say that?
The guys that are actually arguing against you rated the player higher in our game reports.
If it makes you feel better, we can put him ahead of those two. We can't ignore this risk. It could blow up in our face.
We're arguing and all that stuff. Like, these are all really good prospects.
We have talked to every team around us in the draft about moving up or down, so still could happen.
This is where we earn our keep as scouts, is projecting players.
We all in the room believe the upside is that high at 13. That's probably worth the risk for me.
He absolutely wowed me that game.
I obviously have a strong opinion. I'll let it go, but
No, I don't want you to let it go.
I'd be dancing if he was there at 13.
This is a massive opportunity for our organization at pick number 13.
Lucas, why don't you start by telling us why we should be, very excited if Zach Benson falls to number 13 to us. Jerry Forton, I'm Director of Amateur Scouting. Currently, I've been in that role almost 3 years now, I guess. While the, primary and first responsibility would be scouting myself, and especially, being heavily involved in the top 2-3 rounds of every draft. And then we have a staff of 12 to 14 people.
For me, it was Zach Benson. Like, you look at the player he projects out to be, if you're comparing him to the Mitch Marners or the Braden Points of the world, you're talking about a pretty special talent. And I have no reservations that this kid has that ceiling.
Outside of Connor Bedard this year, watching the whole CHL, this guy, I'm not saying he's the next best player, but there were probably more nights walking out of a ring thinking, wow, what a performance with this kid.
Day one of the draft meetings in Nashville, the first player we talked about was Zach Benson, and we wanted to make sure we had him in the right spot in the list.
When we go through the draft meetings and you're talking about these players and you're projecting, doesn't mean that necessarily it's exactly like this player or that player, but you want a comparable in your mind of an upside projection. And so, there were some pretty high-end players that, our scouts compared Zach too, and then they're also that's one part of it. And then for me also, I like to understand what's the downside? If the player doesn't hit what we believe could be their upside, what's the downside, and what does that look like, and how do they help you? Ultimately, how do they help you win hockey games? Because that's what we do.
I think he's got the biggest chance to be a star, but he's 5'9", he's 170 pounds. There's risk there. There's risk from special offensive talent.
He thinks the game a step ahead of everyone else on the ice. He's putting himself in areas where he's not going to take licks. He can jump in holes without taking abuse. He finds open ice.
His ability to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of everyone else on the ice is at a high level. And what that we're basically talking about there is hockey sense.
Familiar with the hot seat, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you, Zach.
Nice to meet you. You watch a lot of NHL hockey, or?
Yeah, I watch quite a bit of hockey.
Who do you have, guys or a team, or who do you like to watch?
I watch guys like Mitch Marner, Braden Point, kind of guys that I just model my game after.
A lot has been made in his draft year that he doesn't have elite speed. That would be the knock on the player. At his size, he doesn't have elite open ice speed. But what we would say is his quickness, his edges are elite, and he's what we would call a very willing skater, and you see that in this clip.
Here he comes, Benson trying to do it himself. Benson, he's in, he scores! What a goal!
And this is crazy because you look right here, he actually kicks the puck up to his skate at one point in this clip at full speed. And he's going to put the puck through the D's stick and feet, but then he loses it for a split second. He's able to kick it back up from his skate to his stick, and then obviously a great finish there. How do you envision your game going up levels for the next level? Like, what type of a player do you think you'll be in the NHL? How do you see yourself fitting there?
Yeah, I think I'll be an all-situation guy. I'm pretty smart, so I got a good stick on the penalty kill, and then on the power play, I can kind of play in any spot. And I just see myself as a guy that will produce 5-on-5 as well.
We've been watching him pretty close. You and I were out there a lot, even last year's playoffs when Geeky and Savoy were out. So what's this kid's 2-year track record in the WHL?
For every night that Matty had a great night, Zach was either right there with him or ahead of him. It's been sustained success for 2 years. He's given me no reason to believe that he's not going to continue to develop and continue to project out as the player I believe he's going to be. I'd be dancing if he was there at 13.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Excited. A lot of work goes into this next 24 hours. Excited for our scouts. If we put Sam here and Jason here, Terry here.
Welcome to the 2023 Upper Deck NHL Draft.
If you're interested, we get our second-round pick, okay? Yeah. I gotta see this pick, though. Yeah. They're keeping the pick. It's really hard to make trades here.
We were trying to make some trades to potentially move up a spot or two.
What did we talk about with Nashville for us moving back?
I think some other teams were also contacting us about potentially moving into our spot.
We'll keep the pick, no deal.
When it ended up going through 11 and 12, and pick at 12 probably surprised us a little bit. Arizona's probably going to take Benson.
The Arizona Coyotes are proud to select from Yaroslavl Daniel Boot.
Obviously there was a high level of excitement to get a player that we had easily in the top 10 on our boards.
Is everybody good with Zach Benson?
Good.
I am, 100% good. We're definitely going to get accused of liking small players, and that's okay. We like good players that are competitive, that's the answer. Good hockey players. All right, you guys are done now. The Buffalo Sabres are proud to select from Winnipeg and the Western Hockey League, Zach Benson.
A lot of people like this guy, just smart, right? Yeah. High hockey IQ. Again, not a big dude, 5'9", 170.
I would have said maybe 30% chance Zach Benson's there at 13 because of not being sure how it would play out with the D in the top 10 or 11 of the draft.
Welcome, kid. Proud of you. Excited to have you on board. Welcome to the Sabres.
That is why the debates leading up to the draft were so critical, because it was going to come, down to 2 or 3 players in our mind.
Your line mate's going to be pretty happy right now.
And where we were able to get Zach Benson at 13 compared to where we had him on our list, which was much higher, we were thrilled for sure.
Good job, boys. Hey, good job. First pick's in the books. Peyton Krebs already texted me. Unreal pick, legit player. He loved the kid. He told me that during the season.
What's up, Peyton?
Congrats, man.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Did you give your family a big hug or what?
Oh yeah.
Pumped to have you and can't wait to get you in Buffalo. So.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Do you hate the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Yes.
Do you like Bills Mafia?
Yeah, big Josh Allen fan, so.
Oh God, it's meant to be.
There you go.
Well,
congrats. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Will someone other than Connor McDavid win the scoring title for next season?
Now that I'm a Sabre, maybe Tage Thompson?
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Congrats, man.
That's unreal, eh?
Yeah,
unreal.
Pretty sick.
So sick.
Take your family in here.
Okay.
We're happy for you, kid. Okay?
Told your brother, I said you look the best out there.
And this is a great fit. Yeah. Honest to God, Granato is one of the best coaches there is. Congratulations.
Mark Jackowski will tell you, over the years, the second round has been kind of the sweet spot for a lot of people.
Yeah. Because, I'll say it, I like the player too from watching him, but Wahlberg is the name that jumped out to me among the ones that are sitting there.
I think it was around pick 20 or 21 where we started working the phones and trying to move into that area, anywhere from, all the way through 32.
Long shot here, just checking if you'd be open to moving the pick. We have 2 second-round picks and we have a third-round pick. Colorado still have pick 27. They didn't trade it, did they? 39-45. Oh, let me run it by the guys. I'll call you right back.
It reminded us of the Kulik situation last year. A pretty similar spot on our list was Wahlberg. But we also, going into the draft, for a variety of reasons, anticipated he might be a player that falls to the late first round or potentially even early second round.
So what we come out on? Nothing that makes sense right now to move up?
I would, but I definitely don't want to give up full time second.
Yeah.
I would for third or fourth to get Wahlberg.
Wahlberg, yeah.
For the Swedish national program, you came out of nowhere a little bit? Yeah. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Like the Team Sweden staff, both coaches have referenced to us. This is a guy you want on the ice in the big moments. He just plays the game. He's got zero fear. Congratulations, by the way, on avoiding relegation there. That was pretty special. You played some big minutes. That game 3 you were excellent in. Just the fact he's out there protecting the lead 5 against 6 and playing 14 minutes a night is so unique for a player that only came onto the scene in December and January.
Checking in on if you'd be interested, depending how it goes here. You got better? Okay. Yep. No problem. Bye. You know, a huge lesson in all this too is, and you have to try every year, but it's nearly impossible to move. And you spend so much time and energy on it, and it just nobody will move those picks. All right, we got everybody?
Yep.
All right. Well, first of all, I think we got a player that we're all excited about. He's going to be a Sabre, and just want everybody in the room that maybe wasn't part of it all to know we had a lot of things going on. Worked hard to try to move up in the draft, and then also from about pick 21 through 32, tried to get back into the first round and wasn't able to do it. But that's the way the draft goes.
We have a player that we've talked a lot about that's still on the board. History would tell you, you start that second day and that your top, 2 or 3 players you have left, you can just check them right off. They're going to go in the first 3 or 4 picks.
My feeling is, with the player we have this high on our list and this projection for, if we can get him, I think we need to go get him.
Like, why don't we just try to lock it in right now?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think it's the trusting our scouts and the work they've done beforehand. And when you've done the work and you're passionate about a player, you're talking about the top of the second round, you got to find a way to get that player.
He just said, Pat Verbeek just said, maybe, what do you have? Yep. All right. Let's see what he says. He said, Jerry, he said, let me think about it over tonight. Well, did you hear that, Sam? He said, let me think about it over tonight. All right. Good job, everyone. See you in the morning.
The draft, it is an exhausting process in terms of just so many different things going on and balls in the air, from other trade opportunities out there or just things that are, you're thinking about your own roster and separate from the amateur draft. So you're just so tired by the end of the night, you get a few hours sleep and then you get ready to go.
He just said, I have a better offer.
You got to sweat out the picks. Obviously, it's very anxious times, but you don't want to overpay from an organizational asset perspective too.
All right, we're working, bud. So we had to up our offer because they had a better offer. They still have a better offer than us, but he said if the team bails, we have the next best offer. But the guys want him bad enough, so I'm okay with it. So Tampa's considering.
Slam dunk. I would do that. So we tried to get up to 33. We tried to get up to 34.
If this would change it for you, still obviously needing to see the pick, but we would do 39-45.
Those picks were made. He's still on the board. You're trying to get up to 35. You think you have a deal to get to 35.
I think that's a no for us for sure, but let me call you right back, okay? So, yep, bye. Yeah, no, that's not good enough for us. Okay? Just checking to see if you're making a pick. I know our guys have been talking.
Go ahead, Tampa.
Yep. No, you can do better? Okay, all right.
So at some point it just became a waiting game, and then obviously when the pick right before him went, there was a high level of excitement. I might even pounded the table a little bit.
Arizona Coyotes select Michael Ramos.
Yeah, it's like Cool League last year. We spent all this energy and we didn't give up an asset.
This happened last year, exact same thing happened. Tried to trade 10 spots. You make the pick, Chase.
From Malmo, Anton Wahlberg.
Buffalo Sabres have
nice job.
Anton
Sweet.
Wahlberg from Malmo.
Congrats. Excited, all right? Yeah, that's awesome. I told him, I said, we tried to trade a bunch of picks to get you. Did you? I said, so that's how much we like you.
I think it's important players know that, and I remember saying the same thing to Peterka. I remember saying the same thing on Kulik. We're someone that we had targeted, and we really excited to bring you on board. So he got the message. He was excited. He had a big smile on his face.
Hello, Sabres fans. Really excited to meet y'all. Go Sabres, go.
I got news for you on Wahlberg. Okposo called me and said one of his best friends is Franz Nielsen. He said, apparently Nielsen's been working with him all year and said this kid is going to be a stud, absolute steal to get him in the second round.
As we got close to pick 39, when we weren't able to make a move to get up, we're just watching the board to see if there's any way that our guy's there, which obviously Wahlberg was. We were ecstatic, make the pick, and then, the target became Strbak.
Max, you're not very strong,
Decent.
Nice. You're built like a hockey player and some.
I hope so.
Yeah. And your father played for a long time too?
Yeah, correct.
Now we had 4 or 5 players on our list, and he was right in the smack middle of them. And the other players were all forwards. And he's a right shot defenseman, with size that plays very hard.
What, in terms of your summer plans here?
Well, I'm attending the draft.
Yep.
Then we'll see if I get drafted about the development camps.
Okay.
Then I'll go right to East Lansing.
Strbak's an extremely interesting kid. First of all, he speaks 5 languages, highly intelligent, a European kid who comes over, plays in the USHL, so that says a lot about just maturity, and now going to Michigan State where it's obviously a great program.
He could go
Play first, I know.
Play first all the way through the second. I shouldn't say he's going to go.
I would think he's going to buy the second.
Fearless blocking the shot here, playing big and putting his body in front of the one-timer, even uses his hand to block it, doesn't faze him at all. He's right back out, he's scanning to see what's behind him at all times.
You're hoping now, if we can land in our first 2 picks, the big forward that we had coveted, and now this right shot defenseman that our guys are really high on.
The Predators have selected.
We're getting one of our guys.
Nielsen from Rogla and Sweden.
Good day today.
Go ahead, Buffalo.
Buffalo selects from Sioux Falls in the USHL, Maxim Strbak.
Max, welcome. Kevyn Adams, General Manager. Welcome to the family. We're really excited to have you, buddy. Congrats.
Hey Sabres fans, this is Max Strbak speaking here. I'm just extremely excited to be a Sabre and can't wait to start my journey. Thank you, you too.
Those are 2 really, really exciting second-round picks. And we didn't give up an asset to get either one of them.
What are we looking at now, though?
Gavin McCarthy. I do think there's some value.
Go ahead,
He's a right shot D.
The McCarthy kid, we know the character. He's a leader. He works.
We draft McCarthy. You guys excited?
Yeah, I am.
From Muskegon in the USHL, Gavin McCarthy.
Welcome, kid. Happy for you, buddy. Excited?
Yeah, I'm
How you
super
feeling
excited.
right now?
I can't believe that, to be honest.
Proud of you, buddy.
Thank you.
We'll talk more. Enjoy it, okay? You're shaking. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Imagine putting on that jersey.
So excited to come home and get started. Go Sabres.
I'm really proud of the work that our organization's done, and I'm proud of the fact that we've had a plan back to a few years ago now, and we've stuck with the plan, and that's only because of, the Pagulas, to be honest with you, the trust they have in me and the belief that we're on the path to something special, and it's a lot of fun for me.
You're here for a reason, and you should be proud of that. Don't leave anything on the table. Give yourself every single chance as a hockey player to fulfill your dream.
It's exciting to get them all into Buffalo. That's really exciting for me when you see these guys start to build a bond together, and you can already envision what that's going to be like 3, 4, 5 years together.
Hey, I'll come, Bonson.
These kids are passionate about the game of hockey, and they love, and everything they're doing is to work towards being an NHL player, but they also seem as a group to have a collective maturity that they're appreciating the time they're having here. They're learning about the city, they're learning about the organization, and that's actually really what development camp's all about.
You played junior Sabres growing up?
Yeah.
This is your home rink?
It's not home number, too.
No way. So cool.
They're all going to have different timetables, but coming up, whether it's through our development camps, through our rookie tournament, in Rochester for some of them, and then ultimately at the NHL level, it's all part of building the team that Kevyn talks so much about.
Something special about having someone's name called, putting on a jersey, coming to development camp, and truly bonding with the organization and city at a young age. I just think that changes the dynamic of things a little bit, and now they're part of us.